What's up, everybody? It is Doug, and welcome to another special edition of the Village Idiots podcast or video cast. And today we are going to talk about the Lemax Michaels exclusives. They just came out. Today is March 1st as the recording of this. And we've had a day with these to kind of, dissect them, get our thoughts together. And we're going to do a quicker podcast here as we run through all of them and kind of what we think. So I have with me Ryan, Landon, and Kelly. Kelly, you want to introduce yourself just real quick? Say hi.
Hey, folks. It's good to see you again. Glad to be back.
I love the sweater.
Oh,
love the owl sweater.
Thank you.
Landon, you want to say what's up?
What's up, guys? I'm Landon, also Halloween channel. If you know me, my channel's in the description. I don't know. What's up?
And we have Ryan back. Ryan was a great guest on our big preview one. A lot of knowledge. Ryan, you want to say what's up?
How's it going, guys? Ryan from Horners Nation again. Glad to be back. Glad to see you guys again.
This is, I guess we're going to just jump right into it. Just so you guys out there who watch this, there still seems to be confusion. There's always newbies. We're going to talk about the Michaels exclusive buildings. And these are going to be available, assuming that we're going with the past years, which kind of always been that way since I've been in the hobby. You're talking like the third week of July when these are going to start hitting stores, the Michaels stores. And we don't know the coupon situation this year. We kind of won't get into that. I'll wait till later in the year when we know more on that. But these buildings will only be available at Michaels this year. That doesn't mean they're going to be retired. It means that next year they'll probably be available with your other dealers. But yes, these buildings and figurines, this is the only place you can get them is at Michaels store. So we are going to riff on these buildings like we've done in the past. It's been a lot of fun. And let me start a screen share going here. I've got the Lemax website pulled up. One second. All right, let's start with the Horrid Haunted Hotel. Okay. All right, the Horrid Haunted Hotel. Here we are. We are on the Lemax website. They have video up here. We'll go through that here in just a minute. Let's just watch the video real fast here.
Welcome to the Horrid Haunted Hotel. Once you've checked in, won't be checking out. Oh, and don't worry, all of our rooms are padlocked. Haunted Hotel Concierge, this is Gordon speaking.
Hello? Can you help me get out of here?
Of course. We can help you dispose of the unfortunates. Oh man, let's get out of here! Run! Get over here!
All right. So, guys, what are we thinking about this one? Kelly, you want to start with you here?
Yeah, absolutely. So this one was my favorite of the Michaels exclusives. When the pictures first came out, I thought this looks incredible. It had, the inside scene. It had what, you could tell from the picture that bottom part, there was like a chasing scene happening. And that's like so classic Spooky Town. It reminds me of like Vampire Caverns had that same kind of chasing scene. And that, the feature I think I like the best on this is that hourglass. There's nothing else like that, and it actually is. There's sand in there, and it actually like counts down the time. I mean, it's this piece with the video. It's even more incredible to me. I think though I will save my favorite though, so I'm gonna take that back. But I do love this piece.
Ryan, what do you think on this one?
I think I'm in the same book as Kelly here. It's my second favorite out of the lineup. It looks like a big building, first of all. It looks like a really good-sized building. And I love the mechanics of it. It has the same kind of conveyor belt they've used in the Toy Factory and a couple other pieces.
That's what jumped out at me. I thought of the Toy Factory.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, Lemax is really good at reusing mechanisms in all their pieces, and that's one of them that they're using a lot of pieces now. And again, the inside scenes are awesome. The lighting is really cool. The characters are nicely detailed and painted. The hourglass is really cool. It's a really cool feature. I like it.
Yeah, I dig that. Landon, what are your thoughts?
Actually, to answer your question, Ryan, I did the calculations for the size of this building. It is enormous. It's bigger. If we're going like total space that it's going to take up, it's bigger than the graveyard party. So
Oh wow.
yeah, it's a big piece. No, I mentioned in the past video how a lot of the times the videos of these pieces make all the difference, and this is no exception. I wasn't huge on this one at first because it seemed like it was a little too cartoonish for my liking, and actually, to me, this building has a very heavy Scooby-Doo vibe. This looks like a place that the Mystery Inc. gang would come and investigate. But no, I love the animation on it. I especially like, of course, the hourglass, but the key here, how it spins and it stops and it spins again. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I actually didn't. It's funny, before the video, that's why it's nice to have the animation videos, because we saw some of these pictures kind of leak out a few days beforehand, but you couldn't see the animation like in the videos, and that's a really cool feature that I wouldn't have really noticed. It does look big. I think that this is probably going to be the centerpiece building at Michael's. Would you all agree? This is kind of the big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just so, I mean, again, you can see from the dimensions on it, it seems like it's pretty big. So yeah, I like it. I can't wait to pick this up and do a video on it. This is my second favorite of the Michael's buildings. It'll be interesting to hear what all everybody else, their first one is. I would guess some of us will share, but let's go here to another one, and I'll start off on this one. This is my favorite one here. This is the, if we can scroll through here, sorry. The Isle of Creepy Jacks. This looks killer. Let's watch the video here real quick. Sound appears to not be playing on this one.
It doesn't have a soundtrack.
Okay. Well, so we can, actually, I kind of like that. I'll just talk over this here while it's going. I love this. This is a really unique theme, how they mix the nautical with the pumpkin. It's really unique. And the fact it's got this fogger here, I'm all about this. I plan to use this in a pumpkin patch scene to where it looks like a sort of like I don't know, not a lazy river, but one of those small, almost like a kiddie ride or something, where they have the boats in the river around. I love this. This piece looks killer. From looking around online, it would seem to be this is a lot of folks' favorite, just because so many people love the pumpkins, and I dig the purple lighting in there as well. So we'll go. Landon, you can talk here on this one here. Let me back out, pull up to the picture. What do you think about this one?
Oh man, I think I'm with you. This is my favorite of the exclusives. In my opinion, I think this is my favorite pumpkin piece that they've done since the Mad Pumpkin Patch. I did like the Ghoulish Gourd last year, but the fogger on this one, man, like that takes it up to a whole other level. I love the theming on this. I love how some of the uniqueness of some of the jack-o'-lanterns, especially the Cyclops one that's down by the cabin area. And like you said, it's like, yes, you could use this for a pumpkin patch, but it would also work for the nautical theme, especially with a killer combo. Get this and the lighthouse from this year. I think those two together would be awesome.
Yeah. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean this one obviously this is a good comparison to the Skull Cave Quarry that came out this year. Obviously the same layout except for this has rotation on top. I like it. It's kind of a cartoonish vibe, I think. So it's, if someone's doing a not so scary spooky town kind of thing, pumpkin patch, even goes an amusement park like you said. And if the Skull Quarry isn't going to fit your theme, then this one will. If you want a water feature to go along with it. Yep.
Is this one, you were saying the other building was your second favorite. So this is not your favorite then?
This is not, no.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Save that till we get to it. I'm curious then. Kelly, where you stand on this one?
This is my favorite. Big surprise. It's a giant.
I wasn't sure, actually. I wasn't sure if there was another one coming up.
Oh, no. It's got a giant pumpkin. Okay. Honestly, this is what Spooky Town dreams are made of. I mean, giant pumpkin, all the colors. We have, this could fit in anywhere almost. Like you said, we have a nautical. I picked up an Octo Squeeze, and I'm actually doing a carnival this year, and this is going to go right in there, right in with the Octo Squeeze. This is I haven't seen it yet and I don't have it, but this is going to be an all-timer for me. If it may surpass my favorite building of all time, but I'm not going to like let that out yet because I'm not sure. There's two in the running that are my favorites, but this one may just shoot to the top of the list. It's absolutely incredible seeing, and I love that there's no sound. I think that's really smart because you know if you run all your buildings, it can get really really loud, and sometimes you just want a nice musical. So I usually just run my carousel and just let it run, or the Tilt and Hurl has a nice soundtrack as well.
Yeah, and with having a fogger on it too, you've already got really good lights and sound, or not sound. So you've already got good lighting and even some animation. So if they're going to put a fogger on it too, which looks a pretty cool setup for the fogger, I get why they wouldn't also do that. Be curious what this one, what it sells for this year. But I look for this one. I think this is going to be the piece that probably sells the quickest. It seems like there's always one of them at Michael's that sells early, and it's so unique. Again, it's just crazy that the nautical theme, how it went away for so long, and it's back like fiercely this year. Crazy. Let's go on here. I'm really interested, Ryan, to hear what your favorite's going to be here. Let's see. Well, let's hear. Let's go to the Skull Rose tattoo. Just play this while it's going here. Ryan, you want to talk over this?
Yeah, so believe it or not, this one here is my favorite.
Okay. I can feel that.
Yeah, I mean, everything about this is perfect. It's a Day of the Dead theme. It'll go in the Blue Orleans theme, and the coloring on it is great. The detail is great. It's a nice, simple little inside scene building. It's not going to be too expensive. And then when I saw the coordinating character that goes with it, I mean, the whole package is perfect.
Yep. Landon, what are you thinking on it?
I'm kind of with Ryan on this one. I typically don't do the town theme, so I'm probably not going to be picking this one up, but I think this looks gorgeous from like a paint and a finish standpoint. I really dig that interior scene with the people that is looking for the tattoo designs. And interestingly, on this building, actually, as you can see right there, there's white lighting on this piece.
Mm-hmm.
That's unique for Spooky Town. Typically, it's green, purple, orange, sometimes red. But no, it's pure white lighting. So I think that's going to look really interesting when it's all lit up in the dark. And it looks really cool from just the video alone. So, no, I dig it.
It looks simple, but it looks well done. I think we could talk about the lighting in general. I know we mentioned it in the big preview video, but I think Lemax really heard the feedback that people were tired of the yellow and green on every piece, because this year you're just seeing a lot more. Yeah, that white lighting looks good, and I think it's pretty striking that pink is the main color here, and it looks unique. Again, it goes with that the Blue Orleans theme that they've got going on. You can put it in the town, and it looks very well detailed. Kelly, what are your thoughts?
This is a static piece done right. This is not going to get lost in a village. It is going to stand out. It has so many interesting elements. I love any building that has like the inside scene. And I can't think of another building that has pink as the main color. That to me just makes this so unique and so interesting. And I think it will look awesome in a town. And like I said, it's not going to get lost. It is not. It is definitely going to stand out.
Yeah, let me find the accessory here for this one, Ryan.
Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah,
Tattoo Katarina.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Again, I mean, excellent detail. The coloring matches the building perfect. She's got a little tattoo gun there and everything.
Yeah,
everybody loves black cats. I mean, it's the perfect accessory.
When talking black cats, we will just go to the next one here, the Meow Mansion. This one I saw today as I was kind of monitoring with people talking about the buildings. This one, there's a lot of people excited for this one. It's pretty cool. It's a character one. Landon, you want to kick this one off?
Okay, sure. So last podcast, you guys were talking about like what you think your sleeper buildings are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
This is my sleeper building. To me, actually, I think that this is the piece that I'm most excited to see what it looks like in the dark. To me, it's very reminiscent of classic Lemax, because you know how Lemax during the old days, they used to do a bunch of blacklight pieces like the Spooky Carousel and the Zombie Cafe. That's what this is. It's got a bunch of purple black lighting on it. The cat's eyes, like the big cat eyes right there, will glow up green. Again, I think that this piece is going to look wicked in the dark. Now, I guess like a hang up for this for some people is that really they don't have anything to go with this, but I actually think that you could go do many things with this. You could work in a witch village, because it's, you know how witch pieces, they sometimes have like whimsical designs. I think it would work for that. Also, like the trippy style houses, like the Squash Shack, and if you have it, Nightmare on Oak Street, which is an old retired piece. I think this would work really well for that, where it's like it's Halloween night and you're tripping out.
Yeah, it would go with Nightmare on Oak Street, I think. Kelly, what do you think on this one?
This is so fun. It's just so fun. And Landon, you're right on the nose. I was thinking this Squash Shack immediately, because that has kind of a cat theme to it. If you remember, it's very faint, but this is like not faint at all. This is like, there are cats everywhere. If you like cats, this is an amazing piece. But my favorite thing though is that little detail that looks like the Cheshire cat in the door. It's just so cute. I was just taken away by that. So yeah, it's just so fun. And I think you could put it with like Landon said, a witch theme. It could even go in I'm always thinking carnival on things, but I mean, it does look like kind of a fun house that you'd walk through. But this is just a really, really fun piece and very unique.
Yeah, Ryan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely unique, that's for sure. And there is again, we were talking about last time how Lemax is getting back to some of their older themes where they always had like a cat-shaped building, kind of. Even Wanda's Wicked Home last year had a cat shape to it if you look at it from a distance. This one is obviously a cat. It's in your face. The lighting's really cool on it. I'm kind of curious to see if the eyes on top are just reflective or if they're actually lit from behind. But the funniest thing I saw online today was if you go to the picture 2 on the bottom there,
I know what I was going to say it.
People could not get over the shot right there. So this is going to go in a corner where that gets pushed into the left a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, it's a really cool little building. And yeah, it'll go with some wild things like even Agatha's shop with the crazy colors on it, that kind of world. Like a Dr. Seuss themed spooky town almost,
Yeah, and it does say that these eyes up here, it says those are lit.
Okay.
The thing over there. So yeah, I think lit up with the green. Interesting that cat eyes are green too. I think that should look pretty cool. Yeah, it's like a surreal kind of storybook, bad dream building. There's a lot of things it could go with. And in talking about the witch theme, I know a lot of witch fans are very happy. Let's go. There's 2 of them here. Well, actually, there's a bunch of witch stuff this year. We'll just start here at the witching hour. This is sort of the bigger one. Let's
nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. The witching hour has just begun. Oh, cauldron black as night. Show me who we can scare tonight. We're coming! Let's go get 'em! Get over here! A crow's beak and a hint of rat tail, a live frog and some goo from a snail. The perfect ingredients for a potion so clever. Once you drink it, you'll stay here forever. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to run.
Kelly, you can start off on this one here. I'll let it run here for a second while we get the volume down.
Yeah, wonderful. This is, I'm gonna go with a pun. This is witch perfect instead of pitch perfect. Um, this is actually everything that I wanted the witch's tower to be. And I think if you have both pieces, I think it would look really cool together because it would like be a witch fortress because they're very, very similar. As I said before, I love anything with like the chasing mechanism. I love scenes like that. It reminds me of like an old cuckoo clock or something, or an old we used to have a clock that kind of spun and had not people being chased, but it does remind me of that. And I love that you can see the chase all the way around the building. A lot of times they disappear into the building and then come back out. And I love this because you can put it will look good from all angles and just all the different turrets. I just think this is a witch piece done perfectly.
Yeah, Landon, what are your thoughts on it?
Oh boy, this one. So the Jax was my favorite. This is my second favorite, I think. Kelly, you nailed it with the Witch's Tower comparison. I like the Witch's Tower. My main criticism of that one was that I wish it was more well lit. This one, though, is perfect. Like you've got, again, the multiple colors, purple, yellow, green. This the scene with the witch and the cauldron looks like that has animated lighting on it. And my favorite thing about it, the clock up here, it'll behave like a real clock. Granted, it's an astronaut clock, which I don't know how those work, but it says that it works like a real clock. So I think that that's awesome that they're doing that with this piece because they've been doing a few of those with the Christmas building. So no, I love this one. I think that this is, in my opinion, the coolest witch piece that they've done since the Witch's Lair.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on it?
Now that I know it's an astronaut clock, it's kind of changed my mind a little bit. I was kind of hoping it was a real clock. I just got to learn how to read it now.
Yeah.
No, it's really cool. The lighting's great. The chase scene's great. It looks like a good sized building compared to the Witch's Tower. Definitely a lot of comparisons to the Witch's Tower. Obviously, this one has a lot more going on. The soundtrack, it's almost perfect. The music in the background reminds me of the Symphony of Screams, which is probably one of the best sounding soundtracks, I think. I just wish they didn't do the same guy doing the voices for all three witches. It's the same guy doing them over and over and over again,
Yeah.
But no, obviously turn the sound down. It's great. But it's a cool building.
Yeah, I think the witch fans, from seeing just today, again, reading some of the stuff on there, the witch fans are really excited. It's one of the most popular themes, not only in Lemax, but in Department 56 as well. So you had the witch fans who even collect both. And I agree on this is like a better realized version of the Witch's Tower from a couple years ago. That clock looks fantastic. And the fact that it actually works, I think, is really cool. But I like what's going on here. I'll have more to say about this one whenever I get my hands on it. That's why I'm kind of going light on the opinion here, because I hope to have all of these things featured this summer, actually doing some videos on them. So let's move on here. We're almost to the end of the line with actual buildings. Oh, where are we at here? There's one. Yeah, so we're going to stay with the witches here. Helgas Hats. And of course, I'll start off on this one. I like how this looks. The witch's hat theme is great. Of course, it is reminiscent of the Department 56 fans. There's a lot of buildings that do kind of with the witch hats, and the Hattie's Hat Shop comes to mind from a couple of years ago. I think Hattie's was done better, but this one's probably going to be considerably cheaper than Hattie's Hat Shop was. Let's see. This one I think is just lit, correct? Yeah, Ryan, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, no, I was going to say the same thing. This is a direct aim at Department 56's Witch Hollow hat. The whole collection they have there, and they did it really well. The inside scene they did with a cutaway on top is something I haven't seen before. With Department 56 or any other thing. It's really cool. The signs are well done. And like you said, this is probably going to come in, if I had to guess, at Michael's price, probably around $50 or $60, as opposed to 150 or 160 for Department 56. So this is going to be a home run. And this is one thing this is porcelain. So this is what people are always looking for, is a porcelain piece. This one's actually porcelain.
I think I'd argue that just shows even more what this is aimed at. This is at the Department 56 crowd. I think.
We're going to war. It's going to be awesome. Awesome for the fans.
I don't know how big of a war or how good of a war it is this year. I don't know if I want to fight in that war, depending on what side. But Kelly, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, you said it. I don't want to labor the point too much, but when it popped up, I thought, oh, that's definitely reminiscent of the Witch series from Department 56. And I was going to mention that it is, I think, the only porcelain building this year. I think everything else is poly resin. I think this is really well done. I love the colors. That scene on top is like the standout part of this. It definitely sells it for me. Because Department 56 doesn't do anything like that. So I think that's really kind of edges Department 56 out a little bit. Because I think we have the Crystal building this year for the witch theme in Department 56. And I think this is on par with that.
Yeah, Landon, what do you think?
Again, like I'm kind of with you. Like the first thing I thought of with this piece was Patty's Hat Shop, the Department 56 piece. But this one isn't just hats. To me, this is actually more of like an accessory shop because it says here they've got hats, socks, brooms, potions. Again, it's like a small witch convenience store. And again, the lighting on this piece. You got the internal green light, the yellow lights shining down on the actual building, the bottom part of the building. And then the purple light scene up here with the witches in the carved hat. Again, like you guys mentioned, I'm so happy Lemax are bringing back the multicolored pieces. I think that they look a lot better versus when everything was just green, green, green.
Yeah.
So no, really cool. I dig it. I think it's a solid witch piece.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this one looks like in the store. It'd be with the construction on it, and again, kind of aimed at that Department 56 crowd. I think with that, we have one last, not really a building. Department 56, Lemax, they do this. It feels like we normally get like a big accessory every year. I mean, I guess you could. This isn't really a building, but it's more than an accessory. Let's watch the video here of this while we're going here. Kelly, you want to start off on this one while the video runs?
Okay, so I hadn't watched the video. I didn't realize that the person levitated up and down. That's so great. I love this piece so much. So when I first saw it, what I thought of was Madame Viola's tent. It's not Spooky Town, but it is Lemax. And if you were going to, put this, I'm seeing this as like, yes, they're witches, but they're like, they could be people dressed up as witches in like a kind of like a not a carnival, but a theme park.
Show.
Thank you. Yes. And that they are doing this, magic show. But the only thing that kind of takes away from that is the all of the blood. And so I'm not a huge fan of gore, not really my theme, my type of thing, but that would be my only knock against this piece. But now that I'm seeing it levitate, that person levitate, that's amazing.
Ryan, what do you think the price on this one's going to be actually? Like the actual out the door, assuming we get like a 40% coupon?
Yeah, it's tough to say. It'll probably be like around the $60 price point at Michael's, before coupons. I mean, it is a table accent, but does have motion to it.
I'm thinking 30-ish, if you 30, 25, maybe something around there, if you get it with a good coupon.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's when I first saw the same thing, I didn't realize that the girl levitated, which is really cool. I mean, it's a really cool feature. And Esmeralda, again, Lemax going back to their roots. Esmeralda is one of the original witches that they had in the Lemax lineup. They even had a bronze statue of her at one point that went in your center for your witch village. So they're kind of going back to the old school characters even. But yeah, this one's really cool, I think.
Landon, what do you think on it?
Actually, I really don't have much to add on this one. I agree with Kelly. I think this would work great for a carnival. It's like a little side attraction or side amusement thing. Again, it's really cool that the girl is actually levitating, especially because it looks like the mechanism is her shirt. It's like that's what's the thing is attached to, so that's why it's moving up and down. So it's great that they use that instead of just having like a big metal rod sticking on the back for her backside.
It's like a real levitating trick.
Yeah.
Platform.
So no, it's cool. Cool side piece for you Witch fans.
Yeah, I think again, more witch love for this year. And we just had a couple little things. This witch gate here is actually pretty cool. I think it's nice to have a full gate with the actual fencing with it. And then we had this Jitterbones dance party. Kelly, your Instagram today was funny with this.
I'm such a John Cusack fan and a Say Anything fan that I'm definitely going to get this. And in fact, it gave me an idea. I'm definitely going to dress up one of my skeletons like this Halloween and put it outside. I think that's so great.
That's great. And that's it. I mean, there's Christmas buildings, and actually the Christmas buildings look pretty cool. I'm not going to talk about them here, but I think they did a pretty good job with the Christmas ones here too. But a great job, I think, Lemax. Here, let me turn off the share. We'll do kind of a final thoughts here, just because now we've got the full lineup, and this lineup is crazy. Like, this is insane how much there is here. And when we did our last show, we talked for an hour on camera, but we wound up, when we stopped recording, we talked for another like 40 minutes. It felt like off camera. I should have kept recording, but Ryan, I think it was you who was saying, it seems like with all of these buildings that are here, it's almost like last year with the COVID thing. For the 20th anniversary, they had a lot of these in the pipeline, but just couldn't be released for whatever reason. And right after we got off, I thought, man, that sure sounds like it almost has to be the case, because it is like insanity this year with all the buildings.
Yeah, they kind of set themselves up for a tough spot next year. That's for sure.
Yeah, if you're starting in the hobby this year, it's not normally like this. Just FYI.
Yeah. Make sure you put the warning out there. Next year might not be as good as this year. Warnings ahead of time. But yeah, and it's funny. I've been watching all the comments since all the pictures are released, even the regular line plus the exclusive line, and there's a ton of the people that still want every building to be ceramic. That's not going to happen anymore. It's just the way production goes and the molds are made and whatnot. But looking at the tattoo shop, which again is my favorite out of the exclusives, it's a poly resin building, but it looks ceramic. The detail on it looks ceramic. It can be done, and they just have to put a little bit more work into it. And eventually these poly resin buildings are going to look just as good, or if not better, than a ceramic, because it's easier to hold more form to them. So. Yeah,
Landon, do you have any thoughts here kind of as a wrap up?
Yeah, I noticed too, some people in the Facebook groups are unhappy with, the poly resin pieces for, sorry, someone just came in here. People are using the poly resin pieces versus the ceramic. I really don't mind the poly resin, because to me, it looks very much still like the regular ceramic pieces. So it really I'm really not fazed by it, but no, to me, it feels like that Lemax, they covered a lot of ground this year, witches, the New Orleans theme, Carnival, the nautical theme. Like Doug, you mentioned, it's been years since I've done the nautical theme. So yeah, I'm kind of with you, Ryan. I think next year is going to be a bit more of a sleeper year, but honestly, I'm okay with that, because my cart's full and I don't got much more room. Actually, no, I'll talk about that later.
Okay, Kelly, what's your wrap up thought?
I'm just so happy. This is an incredible year, and I'm kind of jealous of people that this is their first year collecting. I don't mind the poly resin. I just want to put that out there. I think if it's cheaper and easier and can get more detail, I think that's just fine. But my only gripe, and I'm saying this is like a tiny, tiny gripe, is that, I am like completely into the trick-or-treat neighborhoods. So that's like my whole theme. And I know that they don't release one, we get one maybe every 5 years, it seems like, but I was really kind of hoping that when we got the Michael's exclusives, that there would be a cute little trick-or-treat house in there, but there's always next year.
That would be my only real disappointment too, is that there isn't one. I'm kind of surprised there isn't, but again, they've give something for next year. And there's also not really any, unless I'm missing here, like a farm/garden thing to where that's a theme I love. And I know my buddy Brett, Philly Candleman's got a YouTube channel. If he's watching this, he was bummed that they don't have one this year. But really, I can't complain though, even though those are my two favorite themes, just because There's so much else. I like that they went strong into nautical thing. I'm glad witch people are happy. And even like the foggers coming back like big time. Two of them, I'm shocked actually. I feel like that is almost the proof that there was a bleed over between years, because I feel like one of those was supposed to come out probably last year, just because they're so similar.
Yeah.
But it's cool that they're both there. And I'm talking about the Skull Rock Quarry, and then of course the island, the pumpkin one here we just talked about. But again, whether it's COVID, whether it's, well, I guess it would have to be that probably that would cause them to bleed together. This year feels like the 20th anniversary lineup. Personally, not last year. This feels like the big 20th anniversary celebration for Spooky Town. So I'm glad it's here, one way or the other. You know, even if it's a year late. I guess before I do kind of a closing thing, Landon, what were you going to say? You had some point you wanted to wait.
No, I was just going to add more on the fact that, you know, my cart's full, especially because I have a surprise review coming for my birthday. I landed a unicorn piece. I already talked to you guys about this. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's a hard to get piece that I've wanted for a long time. So that, coupled with, again, everything that's coming out this year, this has been the most excited I've been for season since, man, like when I was a itty bitty boy. I guess I've been in this hobby for a long time, and I think Lemax, they crushed this year. And again, I expect next year to be a little bit toned down, but I think there'll still be at least one or two really cool pieces. I think I think the Lemax, it was just home run after home run, because in previous years, and Doug, you mentioned this, it's very top heavy. There was like one or two like really strong pieces, and then like a handful of like, you know, decent buildings.
Mm-hmm.
This year, there's like 6, 7 main event pieces.
I know.
Yeah. So no, good job, Lemax. I'm very proud.
Yeah. I guess anybody else, would you have anything before I kind of wrap this thing up?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, 2020 sucked all around. Let's just be honest. It really did for everyone. So, you know, if we're going to play catch up this year, this is the way to do it. And obviously there's a ton of stuff coming out. Save some for next year. I mean, people got to be catching up next year, that's for sure, on what they can't get this year. So if it is a slow year next year, just play catch up.
That's a good way to be, because a lot of people I know, I mean, I guess if you're watching this channel, you probably are pretty hardcore. But a lot of people, there's just so many coming out this year. There's a good chance you're not going to be able to afford everything that's coming out. It's insanity. So that is a very good way to be, is next year, if it is a lighter lineup or there's not as much that you're interested in, these are like the Michaels buildings are all going to be available next year from dealers. So you should be able to pretty much get anything that's coming out this year, next year relatively easily. So yeah, I would go that route. That's a good way to be. You know, Kelly, was there anything that you had to add? I'm sorry, I didn't know if you shook your head yes or no. Okay.
I shook my head no, but that's okay. I just would repeat myself in that it's the best year in recent memory, and I feel really old that you, Landon, were started collecting when you were a little boy. I was an adult, and I've been collecting a long time.
You saw my picture on the Facebook group of me as like a 4-year-old, where I had like the classic buildings, like the Torture Factory, the RIP Mausoleum, the Isle of Doom.
It's darling, yes.
Yeah.
I just it's just wild that that I'm so much older.
Yeah.
Just kind of running into that. Just had a birthday, and I'm like,
yesterday, or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It's also funny because, like during the mid to early 2000s, I was kind of with everybody else, where I just thought, man, Lemax, they're kind of dragging a little bit. Again, like it's just, to me, this year feels very much like a classic era year, where there's just so many heavy hitters.
This is a classic year. I know that some people aren't happy, and that's fine. You're never going to please everybody, but I feel like this year is going to be looked back on as a special year just because of everything that came out. Really, it's going to be tough for them to duplicate it. And I think really it's the pandemic caused that to create this crazy amount. So I guess with that, I'll just kind of wrap this up here. I want to thank all of you guys for being on here. This is fun. I love this lineup of the Village Idiots. And I hope that soon-ish here, we can have you guys all back on so we can do a video where we talk about the difference in Lemax and Department 56 and kind of really have a nice deep dive. You guys are all experienced in both. I'm experienced in both. I know that a lot of viewers are one or the other. Especially there's more Lemax people on here. And I'd like to take a really good critical look at the differences. And, you know, can you display them together? All the questions I always see, and I'll have the questions written out. And make sure, leave a question here actually below in the comments if you have that. But yeah, guys, thank you guys very much. I appreciate you guys being on here. I'm going to be doing in-depth video reviews of these buildings. Most of the Michaels buildings, I know that I'll be doing a bunch of the mainline buildings too. Lemax actually said they were going to send some to me fairly early. Once that starts, I'm just gonna start doing them. So as soon as they come in, I'm gonna start putting them up. We are past March is my gate. If we get past March, I'm good. If anything comes in to start doing stuff. So and we need it this year in 2021. As Ryan was saying, last year sucked. Let's admit it. We know it. So 2021, this is a good year. If Lemax was ever going to have a classic year where they throw the kitchen sink pretty much, this is the one to have. So thank you guys very much for watching. I want to thank Ryan. I want to thank Landon and Kelly. I will have their contact info or their plugs basically in the links below here. And thank you guys very much, and we will see you soon.